Take off your hat and glasses. I only allow anonymity in my courtroom during Secret Santa. You're Mayim Bialik.
In this episode, you play Mayim Bialik. This is, of course, a very heightened version of you, if a version of you at all. And I'm curious what it's like sort of having to build this character that shares your name, but maybe not any of your traits.
It's really fun. It's fun playing an exaggerated version of yourself. You know, as a viewer, I love when I see celebrities poking fun at themselves. I love when I see people kind of bursting that bubble of what we expect of, like, you know, fancy celebrity guest spots. So for me, it was just kind of fun to lean into that. One of the things that's hard is, like, if you can't look like yourself, that can be hard. Meaning if they were like, we want you to play this character, but no makeup, no hair, then I'd be like, no, I can't do that. But the fact that, like, I still got to, like, look presentable and, like, feel a little bit like I'm in my skin, it actually made it a little more bearable to then play this, like, outrageous version of yourself.
TV's Blossom is in our courtroom.
Can we not make a big deal out of it? I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like any other 5-time Emmy-nominated actress with a PhD.
It starts as this innocent friendship between Abby and Mayim. Then we come to find out that Mayim is stalking Abby. I know the episode mentions a few sort of pop culture references in terms of Stalker movies. They mention Single White Female, Fatal Attraction. Where would you say Mayim sort of falls on that scale?
There's definitely single white female components, but there's also Fatal Attraction components. Like, we really kind of, like, dip into a little bit of both. Me personally, I guess the non-violent version would be more my tendency.
You don't understand. When I was a kid, I would pretend that I was best friends with Blossom. I could do your entire dance from the opening credits.
Melissa has said over the years that she was a huge Blossom fan growing up. You guys, of course, came into Big Bang together in season 4. Was there ever a moment early on when you guys were getting to know each other where she either geeked out about Blossom, or maybe you two in real life even tried recreating the Blossom dance as you do in this episode?
We've never tried to recreate the Blossom dance, but this is a little bit of art imitating life. Melissa did confess that she was a Blossom fan. I think the first day we met, she was afraid if she didn't say anything, that when I found out later, I might assume that she had been, like, being nice to me because of that, or, like, being weird because of it. So I think as she tells it, she, like, took me aside right after the table reading. It was like, I just need you to know that I was a huge fan.
There are a lot of Easter eggs, Blossom Easter eggs, Big Bang Easter eggs. There's even a Call Me Kat shout out. Was there a particular favorite of yours? Maybe something, a deeper cut maybe, than you were expecting?
I didn't know there'd be so many, like, kind of meta references and sort of breaking the fourth wall references. I get to sort of praise Wendy Malick, which is really cool because she's such a, like, sitcom goddess, that it was really neat to get to sort of, like, you know, have a reference, like a breaking the fourth wall reference to that. I like the Big Bang Theory reference. I thought that was really, that was the most fun and the most unexpected. Like, I didn't know if we would go there, but we did.
Now, this is not only a Big Bang reunion, you also played John Larroquette's daughter years ago on his sitcom. What sort of memories did that dredge up? That's a pretty deep cut.
Yeah, so the John Larroquette show was on at the same time as Blossom, and it was created by the same person who created Blossom, Don Rio. So in a way, John Larroquette and I are kind of like siblings of the show business because we have the same dad who created both of our shows. So I had a really fantastic time, you know, getting to interact with John Larroquette then. I was a huge Night Court fan, so, like, I was just so excited to get to meet him. So this was really sweet, felt like coming home in a way.
Now, there are not one, but 2 sunflower hats in this episode. There's the one that Melissa wears into the courtroom, and then there is one that Mayim gifts Abby. I'm curious if either of those happen to be an original Blossom hat that you were able to bring to set.
I hate to disappoint you.
Okay.
They are not. All of those hats were owned by Disney because we were a Disney show, and Disney, when you end the show, like, they make you give back your bras and undies. Like, everything stayed with Disney.
You are acting with Melissa again. You are back in front of a studio audience. You are back on the Warner Brothers lot. What sort of feelings did that dredge up that week?
You know, I do. I get that feeling when I drive by the Big Bang Theory stage. Like, that's where I was. That's where we made, you know, our own television history. So it's really special to be back on that lot. You know, it's the place that I worked for not only 10 years, but I did Call Me Kat for 3 years after Big Bang Theory. So the Warner Brothers lot is been the place that I've been for most of my adult life. So it was very sweet to be there, and just small things like the commissary and the people that like work behind the counter at the commissary, and people that I know. And a lot of the night court crews also call me cat crews. So getting to see people also, when I worked with those people, we had to wear masks. It was during COVID that I worked on Call Me Cat. So many of our crew members, I had never seen the lower half of their face until I worked with them on night court, which was just really cool.
You have done so many sitcoms. Being back on a sitcom set, does it get you thinking about doing another, or have you had your fill?
I've definitely had a lot of fill of sitcom. We actually have a Blossom reboot that we are working on, trying to get produced. Possibly not in a formal sitcom format, which is kind of interesting. But I definitely, there's something to the energy of an audience that's really fun. Call Me Cat was never filmed in front of an audience because of COVID. So to get to have that on Night Court was really, really special. And it is. It's a huge aspect of energy, that you get as a performer from performing in front of a live audience. So very exciting.
You last year got to reprise Amy for the Young Sheldon finale. There is also another Big Bang Theory spinoff in the works for Max with Kevin Sussman. Have you given any thought to whether, if you got the call, would you want to reprise Amy again?
I would 100% reprise Amy. I have no qualms about that. I think it would be fantastic. I know that people have such a special attachment to all these characters. So, I read about it on Deadline like everybody else, but I would love to get a call, sure.